What's going on, everybody? TRAE4JUSTICE back in the building, coming at you guys with some more Sarah Boone content, and this time I've done a little bit more research. Some of it I kind of wish that I could unsee, because unfortunately I did watch the video that she recorded of her boyfriend basically in the suitcase begging to be let out. I definitely do not recommend looking at it because it was much darker than I ever could have imagined. Yeah, it's bad. But the one thing that I did get out of that, this gave me so much more perspective on the type of person that we're dealing with here, such as she put out some kind of advertisement for a lawyer. Now, if you don't know, Sarah Boone has been going through attorneys like they're going out of style, basically. I think she's on her 8th one, or she's lost her 8th court-appointed attorney. It's literally on the front of my screen. I don't know really why I'm pretending. Yeah, thanks, computer. It adjusted itself. But Sarah Boone loses 8th lawyer, must now represent herself in Florida murder trial. The judge rules. So it seems like the trial is about to start pretty soon. Apparently, Sarah Boone won some kind of motion. The judge did tell her that she has to represent herself. So I guess she asked for the ability to not be shackled. She essentially asked for more freedom to move around, and that motion was actually granted. So
now, the court's going to grant your motion, and then you will be unhandcuffed for every hearing moving forward. And instead of being in the jury box, you'll be seated at counsel's table. Okay? You may still have your leg restraints on, but you'll be hands-free. For the purposes of trial, in accordance with Florida Supreme Court decision in Weaver, you will be hands-free and you will not be shackled with legs. But the stun cuff, as identified by Sergeant Barnett, will be affixed to you, and you'll have to sign that waiver.
So she is basically going to be restraint-free during the trial, which makes sense because why would you want to already look as if you're in prison in front of the jury? So that part makes sense. When I saw this title saying that she won her first motion, I was like, dude, does she actually know what she's doing in here? Is this going to be like a trial where she has some kind of legal experience? Considering the fact that the prosecution has no pushback, I'm thinking that this is a pretty common thing if you're going to represent yourself. Now, there's one last thing. So there's a 58-page letter that Sarah has decided to turn into the judge. Now, I can't imagine what this could have in it, but let's just get into it. Okay, so it starts out, Honorable Judge Trae, I can't tell what that says, ongoing 5 years. Why can't I use my constitutional rights? Am I the only one who cares about the ongoing violations of have a bond, have all my medical records, have all my digital evidence and discovery? So for some reason, she is referring to the judge to give her all of the evidence neatly wrapped and just sit it at her cell door, I guess. So that's basically what this is looking like. Now, with this being 58 pages, I don't imagine I'm going to put all of this up. So you might see me jump around a bit to get to like actual important parts. Oh boy, okay, look at this part here. Put the stone down, as there will be no casting of anything today, except maybe for the role of my part for all the pre-conclusion documentaries and crystal ball real life stories of true crime incorrectly formulated from everyone supposedly knowing me. It looks like she gave us a little shout out here. Not really, but she's seeing all of these things that are going up on YouTube and all over the internet. She's well aware of all the true crime and crystal ball stories that we're all putting out about her. Let's try to be nice in the comments, everybody. Sarah Boone may be watching. So she's breaking down why she walked out on her attorney so many times. If you don't know, she had an attorney that apparently she didn't like the way she was talking to her, so she just walked out. So it says, also, I want to make it known, I walked out on my attorney in our last meeting due to her unwarranted, uninformative, unprofessional, snotty attitude, jeez, and her untruthful answers to my questions and beyond the whoa, Sarah. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that part, but the fact that this is your 8th lawyer and this is the way you feel about him. Look, I believe these are court-appointed attorneys. I don't imagine they're going to be as patient as she's thinking like a personal attorney would be. When I think about it, a court-appointed attorney is probably dealing with I don't know how many different people per day. They're just trying to give you the necessary information and then go to the next person. It sounds like she wants them to be so devoted to her when it's like, dude, you have a video you recorded of you doing to act. What do you think they can do for you? Can they do some Houdini magic tricks and just make all of this go away? No. You literally have a video of you taunting him while he's in the suitcase. But it's just ridiculous. So this is all about the same attorney, by the way, she fired. She is very frustrating to back or defeat in an endeavor to induce feelings of insecurity, discouragement, or dissatisfaction in to bring to nothing. It's crazy how much this lines up with the ad she put out. She wants them to be like a cheerleader. As I'm reading this right now, I completely understand why the judge said, hey, why don't you just represent yourself, bud? It sounds like you know exactly how you want this to go. So the first page, she already outlined, I want to have access to everything. I want to be so close to the case, very much like a lawyer. Just go ahead, take the leap. Oh, she gave us a little equation to break down this entire situation. My case equals bizarre equals unknown equals different equals ignorance equals misunderstood equals unfair. First thing they taught me in algebra. This does not mean my case can't equal success and in more than one way. I'm not too sure what that last part means. Success and in more than one way. Not sure what that means, but while everyone continues to ring their bells of malevolence, I am ringing mine of hope, honor, plausibility, boldness. Listen, I am not a murderer. Oh wow, so she's making a firm statement of her innocence. I am not a murderer. This justice system should equal fair, faith, truth, respect, innocence until and if. Not sure why she included that, but adjudged otherwise. Okay, so far this whole thing has just been her airing out her frustrations with the attorneys that she's been firing left and right. I don't know if this is something you would send to the judge though. With them being public defenders, I'm pretty sure the judge probably sees them all the time, right? So the judge probably knows in the back of his mind, like, okay, this has never happened before. Just represent yourself. It's been 4 years. We're not going to keep this going. Ooh, confused cat meme at the end on your letter to a judge in a murder trial. I have explained to my attorney numerous times previously in writing and verbally that despite the noise level, I do not in any way feel comfortable having in-depth private meetings regarding my entire criminal case. I don't think you have too much of a choice in this matter, especially when you're in jail. In my entire criminal case, on the visitation box where there is no privacy whatsoever and held in an open bay dorm with more than 62 other interested all ears inmates. She's not too happy about there being some gossip on the prison yard about her. Sorry, not prison, jail. I keep getting that confused. I cannot fully participate, if at all, from the entire dorm, officer included, trying to participate also in my case. As always, my attorney did not listen or care after I repeatedly tried reminding her of my unsecure environment, barking at me, I can listen or not, still going over. Yeah, look, public defender, I gotta get to the next person. I'm gonna inform you and then I'm just gonna get off this call. After repeating to her over and over and over while she's beginning to speak louder and over me, still to please schedule an in-person meeting where all can be discussed further privately with no success of being heard, I disconnected the visit telephonically. I mean, once again, I don't imagine the jail is gonna give you a limo ride to some attorney's office so you can hash all of this out. I have no idea about the legal system, so just my interpretation. My question, please, who acts like that and still be able to call themselves professional? The visitation box is primarily for family and friends to connect, and if a new note from an attorney, reminders, notices, quick questions, not high-level confidential case information. They are not going to take you to an attorney's office. Okay, this page is mostly in capital letters. I am not the problem, except that I want to and should be treated fairly with respect, acting more professional than the paid. I've been doing this over 40 years, professional over. Yeah, and what's funny is I'm reading this all in her voice. I only heard her voice for the first time in that body cam footage, and right now I can hear all of this in her actual voice and in all the experience, common courtesy, customer service. You're not paying them. You're not paying them, Sarah. I have no idea if she's paying. Are these public defenders? Hold on. 7 were appointed by the court to represent her. So most of them were court-appointed attorneys. And then one of them, which is wild, was actually an attorney that she paid for. So look, at that point, it clearly is just you. The fact that you even had one that you personally chose. You had an attorney you personally chose out of the bunch. And even they said, yeah, I'm good. All good, bud. I have not fired any attorneys attorneys appointed in my case further just kind of proves the point. And representing myself is not an option, as both judges have now threatened me with, from being outspoken and intelligent in all of my observations of the ongoing abuse. It sounds like this just would have continued forever. So good call. When can I win in anything? Once again, this is a letter to a judge. What? Okay, let me read this part again. You ever get in trouble? Think about writing to your judge and asking them directly. When can I win? In anything. It's sealing. Okay, some of this is a bit tough to read. I am not the problem. So once again, she's stating to us, she's not the problem. And if anyone were to slip on my slides and have to experience, tolerate, deal with any of what I have and am, would bravely be doing the same. Don't knock it till you try it. I'll take your word for it, Sarah. Okay, I've been scrolling for a little while now. It seems to be just a bunch of definitions she's throwing at the judge. Judge, I don't think you know what you're doing. Here are the definitions that you need to follow along with, Judge. No way. The Declaration of Independence was included. Is she a sovereign citizen? This is kind of like on par a little bit. Some of the stuff that she's been saying, it seems very sovereign citizen-esque. If she's not, I'm sure she'll become one in due time. Okay, so the rest of it just looked as if it was a bunch of definitions. I guess we're gonna call this one here, but we will be reacting to more of this content as the trial continues. I know I'm a bit late on some of this stuff. Oh, and we definitely have to look at the interrogation footage. I've seen so many comments about needing to look at that. Yeah, we're definitely going to be taking a look at that soon. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you did something good for somebody today. Hope somebody did something good for you, and I will catch you all in the next one.